Good. Okay, so we are on lesson 3.5, which is multiplying by two-digit numbers. We already know how to multiply by a one-digit number, so this has only one additional step to multiply by a two-digit number. So let's look at this right now. Lola's computer repair company orders 175 packets of screws. In each of those 175 packets, there are 32 screws in each one of those. How many screws did the company order? 175 packages, each have 32. So what do you need to do?
Round.
Yes, but what do you need to do? What operation? Divide, multiply, subtract, or add?
Multiply.
Multiply, because you've got this many packages times this much per package. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to estimate by rounding. Why are we estimating all of these? We're estimating them and rounding them because if you get for your estimate 10,000, and when you do the math, you get 1,432,000, do you think something's wrong? Yes. So you should be able to, in your mind, do a quick estimate, and then when you actually do your computation, you should know if you're way off, and you could catch like a really random mistake. All right, that's kind of why we're rounding. So let's try rounding 175, right? We have, I'll do it up here, 175 times 32. But let's round this off. What is 175 rounded off?
200.
What would it be?
200.
200 times what?
30.
200 times 30, and you can do all this in your head. So what should your answer be about?
6,000.
It should be about, thank you, Bria, 6,000. All right, so let's erase this. We are going to hope that our answer, if we're doing it correctly, is going to be around 6,000. So let's actually do it, okay? Let's go over here. 175 times 32. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, so we have a little bit more space. Let's go here. 175 times 32. Watch this. You're going to see our pattern for multiplying by a two-digit number. The first thing we're going to do is exactly what you did in the last lesson. You're going to start always over here. Start in the one spot, okay? So you are going to take 2 times 5, and what do you get? 10. We carry the 1 and put the 0 down here, just kind of like it's similar when you add. Now we take 2 times 7. What do you get? 14 plus
1.
equals
15.
15. 2 times 1
2.
is 2 plus this 1.
3.
Okay, now that's what you did for yesterday's assignment, right? If you had a hard time or got a bad grade on your homework, figure out what of this process you were not doing correctly. Those of you that had a hard time with it, do you think you know what you were doing wrong? Those of you that got like more than 3 wrong, are you kind of catching what you did wrong? Okay, so we've got 350. That's what 2 times 175 is, but we've got this 3, which is worth 30. So now we need to move over to this digit. If we move over to the 10 spot, we're gonna put that answer right underneath here. This is the most important thing, the most forgotten thing, is that right here, we're no longer in the 1 spot. We moved over to the 10 spot. So what do we do for the 1 spot here, Juliet? You have to put this placeholder 0. This is super, super important. I like to call this 0 the hero, right? I'm gonna give him a cape. Okay? 0 the hero is super, that is so not hair.
That is hair. Yes, it is.
Okay.
It needs to be at the bottom.
It needs to be at the bottom. Okay, I am not Jackson. I am not an artist. How's this?
That's better.
Is that better?
That's not. I need to draw some hair. I need to draw some hair. That's a very good mullet.
Okay.
He has like that little thing.
Yes.
Right in front. Yeah.
Okay, the most important thing when you are doing multiplication with more than one digit in the multiplier, you have to remember these 0 the heroes. All right, so once you have put the 0 the hero in there, I will look for that every time. I will look for it. A lot of times I would like for you to do is put a little box right here Where did I just go? I just put a little box right here and say, okay, this is important. Right there has to be a 0 there. Now, let's move on. So now, this is really simple because all we're doing is we are moving over to this digit and we're doing the exact same thing we did here. We're just multiplying. So we're gonna take, I'm gonna erase our things that we've carried. And I'm gonna go to here, okay? I'm gonna say 3 times 5 is what? 15. Carry the 1 over to the next spot, 15. 3 times 7 is 21 plus what I've carried is 22. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 more, 5. Now, what do I do with these? Add them two together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 5 is 10. 2 plus 3 plus 1, 6. Does anybody remember what our estimate was? Lydia? 6,000. Is that about right? Yes, it's about right. So that's going to be our answer. Okay, let's try one more. And then I'm going to give you guys some ones to try and see if you can get them on your whiteboard. All right, let's try this one. Don't do your whiteboards yet. We're gonna do one more together. One more together, and then I'm gonna have you try some examples. Okay. All right, I still need all eyes, all ears. Oh, all of you that scrambled to go get your whiteboards that were not morning ready. Okay, if you got a, try to remember. Try to remember in the morning when you get your whiteboard, go get your tissue right away.
I keep forgetting to get it.
Yes. Get that right away in the morning. That way you're morning ready. And in the middle of math lesson, we don't need to be running and getting tissues and whiteboards. Okay, in the back, please have a seat. Thank you. Do not be throwing those around.
Are we ready?
All right, Juliet, quickly return to your seat so we can continue. Thank you. No, you are not doing this. Put your whiteboards down. We're doing this together. Whiteboards down. Dry erase markers out of your hand. We're doing one more together. Jackson, put it away. Okay, watch up here. Eli, put it away. Ladies and gentlemen, let's in our heads. I want you to come up with an estimate without using any utensil. You should be able to, in your head, say, my answer should be about this much. Look at the board. Round this, round this. Think of what your answer should be close to. When you have an idea, raise your hand. All right, I'm gonna look at it myself and say, what is this round to? What is this round to? What would that answer about be? I'm gonna wait till I see all hands raised. All right, give me an estimate. I'm waiting for Kurt, I'm waiting for Gigi. Kurt, you should put your marker down. I've already asked that, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right. Zachary, make sure you're looking up here. Find what you think that the estimate is going to be. All right. Cece, what do you think? Joey, what do you think it would be? Okay, let me repeat this for those of you who are not paying attention. I'd like you to look at the board and I'd like you to give me an estimate. That means you round this number, you round this number, and you come up with about how much your answer is going to be. All right? Everybody think of it in your head. Don't wait for somebody else. I want to make sure you know how to do it. All right? Gigi, do you have it? She says 8,000. We've got 400 here, right? And we've got about 20 here. So she said 4 times 2 is 8, and then you add these 3 zeros, and your answer should be about 8,000. Good.
4 plus 2.
No, you would not do 4 plus 2. We're multiplying. Okay. Why is this important? Because that gives us an idea if our answers we have face. So here's our target, is what it should be approximately. All right, so here we go. 6 times 2. 12. 6 times 7. 42 plus 1.
43.
43. 6 times 3. 18 plus 4.
22.
22. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for
0 the hero.
0 the hero. Okay? Yes, I really should have made his cape red, but anyways, 0 the hero is super, super important because now that allows us to move on to the tens place. 1 times 2,
2.
1 times 7,
7.
1 times 3.
3.
We are going to do what? Add them together. 2, 5, 9, 5. Is that number close to 8,000?
Nowhere close.
So, okay, when I say close, listen, we rounded both of these numbers up pretty far. So this is about 6,000, this is about 8,000. Your estimate needs to be within a certain range, meaning if your estimate is 8,000, your answer shouldn't be 80,000. So 6,000 and 8,000 is relatively close when you are doing a general rounding. So this is okay. It just can't be like a million or something completely off. This is the correct answer, and that's the correct rounding. I'm going to give you a sample problem. I want you to do it on your whiteboard. Do not forget 0 the hero. That is the most important part of this lesson.
Wait, can we do the estimate in the corner?
Okay, I want the estimate in the corner, ladies and gentlemen, up in the upper right corner. I want an estimate first, and then I want your answer. So I want you to do number 1. I want you to do number 1. Right here. 62 times 28. 62 times 28. I'm going to go back over to here so we can do our answers. The estimate first, and then I actually want you to do the problem. Okay? Do it quickly, but carefully. Okay, just hold it. You don't need to hold it up for me quite yet. I'm going to give everybody time to finish it, and then we'll do it on the board together, and then you can see if you got it right. All right? All right, I'll give you another minute to do that. You should be almost finished with that. Give you a few minutes to do it. Do the actual answer now, Zachary. That was the estimate. You've got the estimate in the corner. Yes. Now write the actual answer, write the actual problem out. We're not just doing the estimate. You have to actually figure out the answer to the problem. Okay. There shouldn't be any talking. Some people are really trying to focus. So if you're finished, don't talk to your neighbor right now, please. Thank you. Give other people the respect that they need to try to focus on this. All right, I'll give you about 15 more seconds. Okay, so now what do you do to move on to the next spot? 0 the hero. Remember, that's the next spot that you paint, right? Put the 0 in. Keep going. Alrighty. Here we go on the board. Watch and see if you got it right. Let's start. If you did not finish, if it took you longer than that, if you're stumped, if you're stuck, pay attention, okay? Because we're going to keep moving. All right? Pay your eyes up here. All right, walk us through this, Peyton. What do we do first? 8 times 2, that's exactly right. Now what do we do? Where do we put that? Yep, you got it.
Wait, what was the estimate?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. We didn't do the estimate. What's the estimate for 62? What's the estimate for, now what do we do with this? We take 6 times 3 is 18, and then we add the 2 zeros. Zachary, look up here. Did you get this right? The estimate? You did. I saw you do that. Make sure you add both the zeros, okay?
I estimated the estimate.
Okay. Shh, boys in the back. Eyes up here, mouths closed. All right. Okay. So keep going for us, Peyton. We've got 16. Now what do we do? 8 times 6 is? Then plus 1 is? Okay, now Peyton, what do we do? 0, the hero has to hold this spot, right? So that we can move over to the 10 spot. So move us over to the 10 spot, Peyton.
I did 2 times 2.
That's exactly right. 2 times 2 is? And then what did you do?
2 times 6.
Is?
12.
12. Now what do we do? Boys in the back, I'm not going to speak to you again. If we need to separate your spots, we'll do that, okay? That's right, Peyton, you add them together. So now what do we have? 6, 13, 7, 1. Is this kind of close to this? Yes. How many of you got this answer right here? Raise your hand. Raise it high. I want to see who's got this down. Who got it? Okay, if you did not get it, what did you do wrong? Share your answer, what you did wrong. Maybe it will help all of us know what mistake to avoid, okay? Mistakes are okay. When you learn from them, it's great. Gigi, what did you do wrong? You wrote the wrong numbers down. Okay, well, that's just a silly mistake, right? Okay, Bria, what did you do wrong?
I just got stumped and I forgot, like, do I go straight to the 0, the hero thingy, and then, or not? So
Okay, you just got your steps wrong? Let's try another one. Okay, let me see. Did you get 496, Bria?
Yeah.
And you got this? Oh, you got the
I
right.
wrote it down while you did it.
You wrote it down while I
So
was doing it.
yeah.
Okay, let's try another one, guys. Let me give you another one. Let's do this one. How about, let's try this one. I would like, how many of us do we have are there here today? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I would like for 14 people to get this right, okay? That means 2 of you can get it, you can make a silly mistake, but the rest of you need to get it. Here we go.
Everybody's just gonna hear it.
I would like there to be 0 talking so that people can focus on this, all right? We're going to do one more, probably do 2 more. Estimate first, then actually do your multiplication. All right, no talking so we can focus. Go quickly, okay? Okay, write it down, Zachary. Put your estimate down quick and then let's go. Don't take your time on that. Remember, an estimate only has 1 non-zero digit in each of those factors. Think about that first multiplication factor. times 7 is 29. What is that? You just need to know 4 times 7. You know what that is? Okay, you have to know those multiplication facts, so you can't take this one. So you don't need to know that. Alright. You should be halfway done at least. You should be done with the first. Go over to the 4 and do exactly what you did so far. Okay.
She just started, so she's restarting.
All this down here. No, okay, you don't need this. Right now we need the 0 to hero and go on to the 4s. Right? Remember that? We're between the 0 to hero and the 1's place. Put a 0 there and move on. So 4 times 4, 4 times 4. Right? Okie dokie, I'll give you about 30 more seconds. Gabby, please stay turned around and quiet so that people next to you can focus. Thank
Give
you.
them an hour.
All right, 60 seconds, 30 seconds, I mean.
60 minutes?
I was trying to say 5
Now
hours.
you're moving on to the 4. 4 times 4, 4 times 4, 4 times 4. Right? Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. What's the next spot? You know what? Always the 1's place goes here. You carry the 10's place, just like when you add it. You carry the 10's place, right? You put the 1's place down, you carry the 10's place. No, up here. This is where you're carrying. This time with this, you carry it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we could get about 14 of you. All right, let's talk about our estimate. So I want all eyes up here, boys in the back. Last warning for the day. Okay, I need your eyes focused up here. What would this be rounded to? Raise your hand if you know. Only 3 of you know. Oh my goodness, Jackson. 8,000. And what would this round to? 50. So if you take 8 times 5, you get 40. And then you're adding 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 400,000 should be your estimate. Who got 400,000 as an estimate? Yes.
When you said 8,000, I looked at 400,000. I'm like, whoa, I was way off. And then I forgot that's what you're asking.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Here's the problem. If you do not know your multiplication facts by 5th grade, it's going to be rough from this point on. You can't still be drawing pictures or making little hash marks, because by the time we get to times 3 digits or 4 digits, you're not going to be able to do it fast enough. So if you need to, you might want to go home and review your multiplication facts so that you can say 7 times 4 is, bam, you can know it.
28.
28, you got to know it right away, okay? Here we go. Okay,
Alright, can we move around?
I'm gonna wait until everybody's quiet so we get through this. 7 times 4 is 28. You always carry the 10 spot and put the 1 spot down here. 7 times 4 is
28.
something that is very important. With this number, okay, I'm gonna write it a little bit smaller. With this number, when you add it, either cross it out or circle it so you know it's been used. Because then when you go to this one and you're carrying, you might add it again. Okay, so right now I say 7 times 4 is 28 plus 2 is 30. So I'm either gonna cross it out or I'm gonna circle it. So 30, 3 goes here and the 0 goes in the ones place. 7 times 0 is 0 plus 3, 3. 7 times 8. Who got this? Who so far is with me? Raise your hand. Who got the first digit done correctly? Raise it high. If your hand is down, that means you did something wrong, and I want to catch what you're doing wrong. Zachary, what did you do wrong?
I didn't do it right.
Okay.
I just.
All right. Did you get the 8 right? Who got the 8 right? Raise your hand. I want to see where we missed people. Who got the 8 right? Good, good. Joey, eyes up here. Did you get the 8 right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then raise your hand. Thank you. Who got the 0 right? Keep your hand raised. Kayla, is your hand raised or no? Okay, good. I'm going to see where we're losing people. 3. Who got the 3 right? Okay, we lost you, Zachary. What happened?
No, I got
You got the 3. Who got the 6 right? Okay, so where did we lose you? We lost people on 8 times 7. You didn't know what that was, right?
No, I moved it right.
You wrote the wrong. Okay, then you just wrote. You didn't know what 7 times 8 was. You put 46, or what did you put?
I put like close to 56.
Okay, so basically it's a multiplication error.
I put 54.
Okay, so, and what did you put? You put 45. So guys, the only mistakes that are being made are not knowing your multiplication facts. You know the process, but you are not remembering what 7 times 8 is if you're putting something different. Yes, Joey?
Yeah,
Did you-
I knew multiplication.
Okay, all right. So moving on. Who remembered to put 0 the hero right here? Who did that? Right? Good. So then you moved on and you said 4 times 4 is,
6.
now look it, the 6 goes here. Where does the 1 go? Over here. This is why it's important that this is either crossed out or circled so that you don't get these mixed up.
I erased them. When I
No, you know what, don't erase them because sometimes, listen, just wait, don't blur. If you have a great idea, raise your hand. Listen, I don't want you to erase it because when I go back and I look at your work, I want to see what you did wrong. And I'll think, oh, you didn't carry, but you did. So either circle it or just make a line through it so that I can still see that number when we're going through and correcting it. That's why I kind of like to circle because I still want to see my number. So now I said 4 times 4 is 16 plus 1 is 17. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. 4 times 8 is 32. Add it together and we get 8, 6, 10, 8, 7, 378,068. Is that close to 400,000? It is. Stand up if you got this right. I want to see who made it all the way through to the end. If you didn't, it's fine. We're just going to catch what we're doing wrong so we can help everybody. All right, stand up if you got it correct. Okay. If you saw what, okay, stay standing. If you are still sitting, but you're like, I know exactly what I did wrong, please stand. Stay sitting if you're like, I'm confused, I still don't know what I did wrong, and we are going to go through it, okay? It's important that you don't get, okay. Okay, perfect. Have a seat. Questions on this process? I'm going to let some of you go on to your work if you understand it, but for those who have questions, raise your hand. Bria, what's your question?
I have a question on something because I got this wrong.
Okay. All right, I'll come around to you. If you have a question, let's do this. I'm going to let everybody else get started, but those of you that have a question, raise your hand. Leave your stuff on your whiteboard. I'll come figure out what's happening, okay?
What if you got it right?
If you got it right, bravo. That's great. You can,
Erase it?